All right, welcome back to part two, and this time I'm going to record it. I recorded the entire thing before I realized I never pushed record. So, networks and coalitions. What's the difference? They're both groups of people that are trying to get something accomplished. So what is the difference? A network is a group of people that are similar. So when the LCSNA goes down to Madison to meet with other student nurse associations, that's a network. It's a network of student nurses. You have the same background and presumably the same agenda. Networks are strong, much stronger than one person, and stronger than just one group. When you have a network, you're getting people from different areas all together. Quite powerful. Coalition is even more powerful, though. And again, it is people that get together for a single purpose. But instead of student nurses from multiple colleges, you might have student nurses and physician's assistant students and pharmacy students and medical students forming a coalition. Now, these are all students, but they're of different practices, different professions, and that makes a coalition. Suppose you want to form a coalition to support physicians-assisted suicide. If you get a lot of nurses together, you have a network. But if you get the Wisconsin Nurses Association, the American Medical Association, and maybe grab hospital administrators and maybe some religious organization and form a coalition. Now you have a powerful voice because you have people from different areas, different viewpoints, but all for the same reason. Coalitions are powerful. They're not easy to form, but they're very powerful to develop, to have. Now, politics is not perfect, and it's not a science. Politics is people trying to get what they want for themselves or for someone else. If you're not willing to compromise, nothing might happen. See, compromise is one of the most powerful tools you have. You give up something, and they give up something so that you get an agreement. You each get something of what you want, just not all of it. But a person who is stubborn and refuses to compromise may stop anybody from getting anything. Frequently, political changes happen in small, incremental steps. For example, medical marijuana. It's legal in only a few states. But if you look at it logically, over time, likely it will go nationwide. But it takes incremental, small steps. Now, have you ever been involved in the election process? What if you want to get involved? What if you know somebody who's running for governor, mayor, president, whatever? What should you do? Well, first, get involved. Make sure you know the candidate. What do they stand for? Do you agree with what they stand for? You don't have to agree with everything. You will likely not agree with everything on any one person. But if you agree more than not, that's a good person to support. Volunteer to help. Yeah. Maybe you can campaign for the person, or you can hand out flyers, put up signs, talk to people. If you really support someone, you may need to do some work. You may also want to draft a position on healthcare. That person in Madison who wants to make mandatory flu vaccinations illegal. Maybe you would, if his opponent is running against him, you might support a healthcare position in support of his opponent to help them win. You should be careful that you don't go overboard and let the political bug bite you hard. Make sure you have a sense of balance. Make sure you understand that politics is big, it's personal, and it's divisive. And you may be working with somebody on the job who does not share your opinion. If you get too vocal about your candidate, you could create a rift and cause problems on the job or at home or in the neighborhood. Now, I'm not saying if you support somebody that you should not put a sign in your yard even if everyone else disagrees with you. I've done that. I put the sign in my yard when everybody in the neighborhood had other signs for the other person. I put the sign up there simply because the other person had too many signs up. But sometimes people go crazy and go a little bit overboard, and we want to avoid that. Now, what's a political action committee? A political action committee is an organization, it's a mechanism, it's a tool where individuals can pool small amounts of money, and the PAC then contributes one large check to their candidate or candidates. What's the difference between 100 people giving $10 or the PAC writing a $1,000 check? It's the same amount of money. But that $1,000 check, the candidate will remember it. And here's where PACs get a little bit gray. PACs don't buy candidates, they don't buy influence, they don't buy power. That said, if a PAC gives a large sum of money to a candidate and they support medical marijuana, if a law comes up about medical marijuana, that candidate might remember that they got a large check from an organization that supports medical marijuana. Did they buy influence? Technically, no. But it's gray. It really is. The American Nurses Association, the ANA, has their PAC. It's the ANA PAC. Here's where we get gray again. The ANA does not financially support any candidate. The ANA does give money to their PAC, and the PAC financially supports candidates. It's legal. It's gray. The ANA does not tell the PAC where to put the money, but the PAC knows what the ANA supports. So that's where the money goes. It's very hard to explain why this is legal, other than it is legal, but it's technically really gray. So what does the ANA do? Well, the ANA endorses and supports candidates for public office. So if somebody's running for office and they are a strong nursing supporter, the ANA will support them. The ANA will recommend that their membership vote for that person. So they're endorsing or they're supporting. They're educating. They will educate candidates on specific issues. Educating is okay. Educating is not convincing, influencing, or lobbying. It's simply education. We do that with our patients all the time. If we have a patient who's been known to be non-compliant with medication, we cannot force them to take that medication in the hospital or at home. We can't. We can educate them on why they should take that medicine. But their choice to take it is their choice. The ANA educates and endorses candidates, but the candidates can do what they want. The ANA does not buy candidates. They don't give money to candidates directly. They give it through their PAC. So again, we're talking about that gray zone. And they only evaluate public officials, candidates, on their healthcare and nursing stance. So if they have a belief that they are pro-nursing, the ANA will endorse them. If they are pro-gun control, the ANA doesn't care. So they may support somebody that you like, but that person also has many other opinions that you don't like. It's because the ANA only looks at health and nursing concerns. So after they're elected, now what do? Well, now lobbying can start. And lobbying is when an organization hires a person called a lobbyist, and that person tries to influence or sway them to take a specific action. So the ANA doesn't write a check to say, make sure you support us, but the ANA will hire a lobbyist to go there and convince them to take specific action. I know, it just doesn't seem right, but it is. However, lobbying can go too far and cross the line and become illegal. They also continually assess the candidate's knowledge of healthcare issues and continually educate. They will write position papers on any topic that they feel is necessary to be addressed. And if you ever need to lobby your official, make sure the person knows how to get a hold of you. They may not get in touch with you, but if you don't give them a phone number or an email address, they won't get in touch with you. So what are some political issues that are affecting nurses right now? Well, there's one called the Uniform Core Licensure Requirement. And this is kind of odd. If I have a license in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is part of the nursing compact. So if I go to another compact state, I can work there automatically. If I go to Minnesota, I need a Minnesota license. But the Minnesota student who graduates from nursing school and the Wisconsin student both take the same NCLEX, the exact same NCLEX. So if we take the same test to certify that we meet minimum safe standards, shouldn't we have a uniform license? So that's a political issue that is affecting nurses. I think a uniform license would promote employment across states. Another thing is that licensure compact. There's 24 states in the compact. Wouldn't it be nice if we could get 50 states in the compact? Or at least all the states around Wisconsin, because none of them are in the compact. Minimum staffing, we talked about that last week, how California has minimum safe staffings, or maximums actually. They have maximum levels. So that's always being talked about here and there, and that is a very hot topic because, as we talked about in school or in class, if you have 6 patients, 6-to-1 ratio, that can be good or that can be horrible, depending upon the severity of those patients. Collective bargaining is another one. Collective bargaining, another word for that is unions. Should nurses be in unions or shouldn't they? Are unions right for nurses? A lot of people think no, but some people are in unions. So, that's just another question that needs to be answered, and it won't be answered anytime soon. That's it for learning plan, or this section. Come back for learning plan, try that again. Come back for part 3.